Weburn has that PGA Tour feel when you're out there on the course. Big property, a lot of space out there. There's plenty of length. Rough is really long. Plenty of bunkers and penalty areas in play on the course. I really think that it's going to show exceptionally well for the Met Open. It's also going to provide a really stern test.
Weburn does have a long, rich history of hosting major championships. We've hosted 3 USGA Women's Amateurs. We've hosted 5 Connecticut Opens, 2 Met PGA Championships, and we had an MGA Mid-Am, but certainly the first time for the Met Open, so there is a great deal of excitement.
Course management, especially as a lot of these golfers haven't played the course or haven't played it in championship conditions, will go a really long way.
You know, we have smaller greens than most places that these guys play. We're under 2 acres, so they're tight. There's not a lot of room to miss.
I think people will make some birdies out here, but there are some holes that are, again, shortish in nature that will jump up and bite them for a bogey or worse. Interestingly enough, our most challenging stretch is right out of the box, holes 1 through 5.
1, you stand on the tee and it's all right there. You hit into the green and then you got to putt. You know, you're above the hole on 1, it's pretty difficult.
The second hole is a very short but challenging par 4, which will typically be an iron or a hybrid off the tee for the participants into a green that is severely sloping from back to front. Third hole, again, is a fairway that is sloping from left to right, dogleg left. It's probably our longest golf hole, around 475 yards, into a multi-tier green. As you head to the 4th hole, that's a downhill par 3, relatively short, looks very innocent, but certainly can jump up and bite you if you don't hit your tee shot to typically the center of the green. There's a great play there. The 5th hole is a dogleg right par 4, again, kind of a longer par 4 with a right to left sloping fairway to a 2-tier green, and if you can step onto the 6th tee at even par, you're off to a great start.
10th hole is a shorter par 5, provides a scoring opportunity right out of the gate for players who will be starting on the 10th hole, or a nice opportunity to score in the middle of your round. The 11th hole typically plays as one of the toughest on the course, really challenging par 4.
17 is relatively short, but it's again one of those short strategic holes that if you lose your focus, you can easily make a bogey. Our signature holes would be either the 16th hole, which is an island green par 4 for the tournament player. It'll play around 400 yards, but it is one of the first island greens ever built in the U.S. in 1925, so that's just a great hole. And the 18th hole is kind of a signature hole, 550-yard par 5 to finish. You have the iconic Spanish-style clubhouse that you're looking up at. Players are hitting into a green that's, again, multi-tier with a natural amphitheater, which is great for spectators.
It's a great brand of golf. These guys can play, so it'll be a good test for the golf course. See how it stands up.
What I'm most excited about is showing off Weburn. We have a great club and a great membership, and one of the common questions I get when we host championships is, why don't I know of this place? Why haven't I played here before? And again, Weburn's always been kind of under the national radar as far as golf courses and clubs, but it is truly special.
Yeah, it was really awesome playing today. The course was really difficult. The rough was really thick. It felt like a big championship, so I enjoyed that. Qualifying for it, I actually qualified on the number, had to birdie my last hole, so I was really excited when I did. I've been playing in Met events ever since I was maybe 4th grade, I think was my first Met boys, so it's been a while, and the Met Open's been a goal of mine to get into, and now that we're here, it's fun.
With all the rain we had last week, it was unbelievable how pure this place is. Had a few birdies in the front, and then we all kind of were limping in on the back 9. The wind picked up. The first green, 3-putt right off the bat, was above the hole. First thing the caddy master told me when I got here for my practice round was don't go above the hole, and that's exactly where I was. So I paid for it, but it really was fun. The greens were unbelievable. The rough is thick. You got to find the fairway. The wind keeps up. We'll see what happens. See what happens tomorrow.
I've played in some pretty large tournaments. I played in the U.S. Junior a couple times, so I wouldn't say I'm like nervous or afraid on the first tee today. I wasn't feeling comfortable, but I wouldn't say there was a ton of. I wasn't afraid to go out and play well, and I think that's key. It's okay to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but as long as you can embrace it, I think that's what's important.
The game's been good. It's been a pretty good summer. I haven't played as much as I would like, but when I have, it's been pretty solid. So had a little bit of confidence coming in this week, and was excited. When you get to play such a nice course like this, it's a treat. Kind of a tale of two nines. The front nine was really solid, but back nine, I kind of hit it the same, just had a couple three putts, but then other than that, I was making some birdies, so it was pretty solid. I hit a really good wedge shot that landed like 10 feet long of the pin, and walked up the hill and saw it had spun back to the front edge, so had to make like a 40-footer there, but it's always nice to see one of those go in and end on a good note.
I think almost the bigger the event, the more excited I get. Like even I came up here yesterday for the first time and saw the signage up, saw how amazing the course looked, and it just got me excited. I was like, I'm so lucky I get to come out here close to home, play amazing golf courses, and it's, I'd say, the biggest stage in the Met area, so I think I lock in a little better if there's more on the line. My putting I've worked on a bunch because that's been the fault this year, I would say, especially at the Met Am. I felt like my putting was what held me back a little bit. Sometimes I get a little bit too technical. I try to focus on the mechanics a little bit too much, so being more free and feel-based helps a lot. So that's been my focus the last few weeks. 14, I hit a really good wedge in there, just hit a good drive. I had a perfect number and spun it off that hill to a foot, so those are always a bonus. And then 17, same thing, hit a 4-iron off the tee and then hit a wedge in there to 10 feet and made a nice putt. So tried to be very conservative today. Always in the first round of the Met Open, you know the course is going to play tough, so I wasn't by any means trying to go out there and tear it up. I was trying to keep it in front of me, and if I made a couple birdies, great. So that was the game plan today, and I'm happy I executed on it.
My game feels like it's in a really good spot, got a lot of good work in, and kind of just trusting in my preparation and my practice and just playing free on the course. I mean, out here it's really tough. You got to play conservatively out here off the tee and get it in the fairway and hit the middle of the green and hope you make a couple of putts. So that was kind of the game plan and stuck with it. Front nine was super solid, just hit a bunch of fairways, bunch of greens, had a lot of two putts, tap in pars, which was great. That birdie on 14, hit a nice drive down the middle, wedge to about 7 feet, 8 feet, and hit a nice putt in the middle of the hole, which is great. And then 17, hit driver, which is a pretty aggressive play, but I liked it there. Left it in the fairway, had about 35 yards, and yeah, I liked it right away. I think I raised my hand a little early there. That was great. I haven't chipped it in a long time, so that was a lot of fun. It feels great. I kind of knew that coming in here. I didn't want to shoot myself in the foot coming out the gate, so I just wanted to play really solid today and really happy to see the result. I've been putting in a lot of work, and so yeah, I'm just really pleased with that. Felt super solid out there. Didn't get too high, didn't get too low, and I'm just really looking forward to the next 2 days. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, yesterday I played really well, to be honest, and I knew my game was in a good spot, but I had one tough hole, and I just stuck with it, didn't let it get to me. And today, they put some of the tees up, maybe one or two, a couple of easier pins, and I was able to make a couple putts, which was great. Well, 12 was a joke. 12, I hit it in the creek yesterday on 12, saved a bogey, hit it in the creek again today, but I was like in a pile of sticks, and I had about 75 yards and I hacked it out of the pile of sticks, and like I was worried that it was just going to stay in the hazard, but it ended up going to like 15 feet and just rolled in the putt. I was like, okay. And then 18, just was able to lay up and have like a 7-iron in, and I just hit a great shot to about 3 feet. I'm just really excited to be in this position. Wasn't expecting it after the way I played 18 yesterday, and so there's really nothing to lose.
I'm not too far off from the cut line. It was my personal thinking before I tee off on the first round, and end up 1 under is pretty good. And then Met Open always play at such a great golf course, hard condition, no matter what. And then I have to keep my ball in play, and that's what I learned from last year. And this year, I think I try to do that pretty well. I think I just play a little bit better when I play like metropolitan tournaments. And then all the MGA tournaments I've been playing well, and then I'm happy about it, and then just try to do that tomorrow too. And 16 was playing smart, and then make sure I'm a fairway and approach to the green, hit a great approach shot and make a birdie. And 17, because yesterday I was very to the end of the fairway and it got blocked by the trees to approach, so today I just take the club down and then make sure I'm on fairway. And then approach is very windy, but I manage it on the green and then somehow make the birdie putt. I'm not even thinking about winning Met Open or anything. I just try to enjoy it out there, have fun on the golf course to prove myself.
I've been driving the ball in the fairway. Everyone knows the rough's been pretty brutal at times, but I've been really playing smart, being patient. I've hit a bunch of greens, a bunch of fairways. When I've had some good numbers, I've hit some close shots, and like I said, everyone wants to make more putts, but for the most part, I've really done what I've needed to do to give myself a chance for tomorrow, and that's all you can ask for. For the most part, honestly, everything feels really good. Everyone wants to be a couple shots better, but I'm glad I'm in contention and had a chance to win this tournament that I've really wanted to win for a long time. You know, I've got one of my better friends caddying for me, Ryan McCormick, and he has been tremendous in terms of just being a friend when you kind of need one. I am just excited that I am in contention again. It's been a few years since I've really been consistently contending and having a chance to win, and that is the most exciting thing. Is tomorrow, no matter what happens, that like you said, I'll be in one of the last couple groups. Hopefully there'll be some people out there, and hopefully you can do something special.
This place is very special for me, and you know, the golf was hard from the get-go, and I knew it was, and I had a couple, you know, errant swings and a couple big numbers out there, but I knew that it was going to be okay. I kind of had an idea of where I hoped the number was going to get to, and it got to it. I kind of essentially said to myself, if I can get under par starting today, that I'd have a good chance, just because I know how hard it can play. I just had to fly it onto that back shelf, and it would tumble back to the flag, and you know, if I get above the hole at that point, it is what it is. And luckily I hit a really good shot and left myself about 4 feet pin high left of it. Objective one was to hit it in the fairway. Hit it pretty much right to where I was earlier today in my regular round, and just knew if I put it on the green at that point with Ethan hitting his third out of the rough, you know, I probably had a good chance of, you know, 2-putting for birdie. And luckily I did. My shot that I had on regulation in 18 was really good. That one was even better. I do never want to go back to that spot and try to replicate it, because it'll take way too many golf balls to hit the same shot. You know, luckily I was able to tap in that 1-footer for an amazing feeling. You know, I get to put my name on a trophy with some of the greatest golfers to ever touch a golf club and play this sport. And growing up in this area, playing in the Connecticut stuff, playing in the MGA stuff, you know, this is the Masters US Open event in the area. The purse reflects it. The golf courses that we play reflect it. You know, if I can grab another one, great, but if not, I already got the one, and that's good enough. I've said this with the handful of wins that I've had over the last couple of years. Wins definitely don't feel good if you're by yourself. You need a great support group. I've got the greatest wife, son, mother, father. I got some of the best friends on planet Earth. They travel the country to watch me. And to do this, I know my dad was looking down through this process, and I knew he was there, and I know he's proud, and it means the world.